A fired Justice Department lawyer went public about presidential pardons. Instead of arguing online, one developer built the database to check her for himself. Okay, so the project is called Pardoned, spelled with two N's, and it does one thing really well. It's a searchable database of every federal pardon and commutation granted since Bill Clinton took office in 1993, 3,206 grants in total, pulled straight from the Justice Department and rebuilt every single day. A developer named Vid Luther built it with AI after watching videos from Liz Oyer, the Justice Department's former pardon attorney who got fired last year because he wanted a way to actually verify what she was saying instead of taking anyone's word for it. He open sourced the whole thing under a public domain license, posted it to Hacker News, and it shot past 500 upvotes in a single day. Enjoying this so far? Subscribe to the YouTube channel and grab the free daily newsletter at indiehacker.news. New deep dive every weekday. Here's what the site actually looks like. The front page opens with the headline numbers, then drops you straight into the most recent pardons, with the dollar figures called out in red. Scroll down and you hit the breakdown by administration, every president since Clinton stacked up by how many grants they signed, and the bars make it obvious the count has climbed term after term. Keep going and there's a running tally of the restitution that got wiped out. The money courts had ordered people to pay back to victims, sorted largest first, and the entries at the top run into the hundreds of millions of dollars each. And right at the bottom, it sorts every grant by the type of crime, which is where the real surprise is, because 2 out of every 3 pardons in here are drug offenses. Now here's the thing. This data was never actually secret. The Justice Department posts all of it on its own website, but it's buried in raw HTML pages and scanned warrant PDFs, one clunky list per administration. Nothing on the official site lets you search across presidents or sort by who got the biggest dollar figure forgiven. A few people have built trackers for a single president. There's a nicely done Trump-only record out there, but nobody had stitched the whole picture together. One commenter on Hacker News summed up the reaction, saying civic data like this should have been searchable years ago, and the fact that somebody had to go build it himself tells you a lot about how accessible government records really are. So step back and look at the 4 numbers that define this thing. 3,000 grants in total, $1.5 billion in restitution wiped off the books, spread across 9 administrations, and the single biggest category by a mile is drug offenses. So what can you actually do with it? The core is a single search box that runs across every record at once, so you type in a name or a crime and instantly pull every matching grant, which is the whole reason this thing exists. From there, you can browse by president, and each administration gets its own dedicated page with its own running totals. You can also filter the whole list down by the category of offense, drug crimes versus fraud, say, and that's where the patterns the raw data hides start to show up. And the part I like most, every single entry links straight out to the original signed warrant PDF on the Justice Department's own servers, so you're never more than a click from the source document. Want to be featured? Pitch your open source repo at indiehacker.news/apply and get in front of thousands of builders. Beyond looking things up, the site is built to compare. There's an administration view that stacks precedents against each other, and once they're side by side, you can see what's actually driving that climb, which is big batches of mass commutations. Obama's second term sits at the top with 1,900 grants, but once you filter by crime, it's clear most of those were nonviolent drug sentences, people serving decades for things that barely draw charges today. Trump's first term comes in much lower on count, 238 grants, but far higher on money, just over $1 billion in restitution forgiven. And if you sort purely by dollars, one single pardon erased $215 million owed to victims, the largest the database has on record. None of these are numbers the Justice Department ever hands you in a chart. You only see them because someone finally pulled the raw records into one place you can sort. The build itself is almost stubbornly simple, and honestly, that's the point. A Playwright script opens the Justice Department's clemency pages in a headless browser and scrapes them, and because the government formats each precedence list a little differently, there are several different parsers that auto-detect which layout they're looking at before pulling the rows. Everything lands in one local SQLite file on disk, no database server at all, and then Astro reads that file at build time and bakes out a fully static website, every pardon as its own pre-rendered page. The clever bit is the loop. A GitHub action runs the whole pipeline on a schedule every morning, rescrapes the DOJ, rebuilds the data, and redeploys the site to Cloudflare's edge, so it refreshes daily without anyone lifting a finger. It's the kind of stack one person can keep alive for years, which, for a public accountability project that has to outlast the news cycle, matters more than it sounds. And because the whole thing is open source, you can run the entire pipeline yourself in about a minute. You clone the repo, install the dependencies, and kick off the scraper, which goes straight to the Justice Department, pulls every clemency grant, and drops them into a fresh local database. Start the dev server, and you've got your own private copy of the whole site running on localhost scraper and all, with no API key and nothing phoning home. So if you don't trust the numbers on the live version, that's the real answer here. You rebuild it from the original government source and check the math yourself. Now, to be fair, the builder is the first to admit this is still a work in progress, and that honesty is sort of the point. The dollar figures especially come with an asterisk because they're parsed straight out of the plain text sentence descriptions on the DOJ website. So when someone pointed out that one Trump-era defendant alone owed $500 million, Vid just said, yeah, if the warrant doesn't spell out the restitution, the system can't catch it. He also admits he has no real way to know whether any of that money was ever actually paid back. And a few big things still aren't in there yet, like the January 6th pardons and the scale of Biden's mass commutations, with a proper comparison tool still on the way. So here's where I land on it. It's rough in the places it admits to being rough, and none of that really changes the verdict because the thing it fixes was never a data problem in the first place. These records were always public on paper. They were just locked in a shape nobody outside a newsroom could ever actually use, and that gap was doing real work, keeping uncomfortable questions politely unaskable. What flips that isn't some sweeping reform, it's one person deciding the friction was the whole point and quietly removing it. So now a curious stranger can pull the answer in 5 seconds. The hard questions about who deserves a pardon and who just knew the right people don't get any easier. They just stop being optional. That's what putting the receipts where anyone can read them really does. And once a thing like this is searchable, it turns out to be very hard to make it quiet again.